Hello and welcome to another episode of Mad Dialogue with me, Michelle.
And me, Skylar.
And if you missed us last week, we apologize. I had to do some decorating. You probably can notice. So that's the reason why we wasn't here. But on to this week's episode. Now, this was requested by one of our subscribers that we do an episode on the Epstein files. And I wasn't going to because when I go down the rabbit hole, I struggle to come back out and it sort of does me in. And if you've been following it, I mean, it's hard not to if you're on social media because it is literally everywhere. However, with recent developments, what's this gentleman's name? Oh yeah, Ted Lieu has reportedly stated that newly released comprehensive Epstein files contains allegations that Donald Trump raped children. This explosive claim adds a severe new dimension to the domestic political crisis already surrounding the White House during the current Middle East war. The timing of these allegations coincides with the staggering 80% of Americans believing that the ongoing conflict with Iran was initiated as a strategic diversion from the Epstein files. This public skepticism persists even as the war escalates to a global scale, with Dmitry Medvedev warning that World War III could begin at any moment if current military actions continue. The military situation remains critical as the IRGC has announced plans to launch its first intercontinental ballistic missiles from the Persian Gulf. Simultaneously, the US is considering moving THAAD and Patriot defense systems from South Korea to the Middle East due to critically low interceptor stockpiles. I'm not going to read the rest of it.
I don't even understand half of that.
This was published by Tech Times official on Instagram. And so what I'm trying to work out is why this man is still in power.
Yeah. If this is even a speculation to them, like.
Yeah. Pam Bondi, I believe she's chief investigator or something. She basically said if they were to prosecute everybody that was mentioned in the Epstein files, the system would collapse. I say let the system collapse because once again, I believe there's good and bad everywhere. And so let good people rebuild the system. So let's come over this side of the pond, as they like to make reference between America and UK. So Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor. Yeah, because he's not Prince Andrew no more. He's been stripped of his title, hasn't he? He was arrested the other day and held for 12 hours and was questioned. Now, me personally, I'm not holding out a great deal of hope where it concerns the situation. I don't know how much of it is for show because we already see that they're not doing anything in order to bring these people, to answer for their crimes, basically.
Yeah.
I feel like once allegations are made, people should be taken out of their position until
further notice.
Yes, basically until it comes out that either they are guilty or they are not. Me personally, I believe that everybody that's been mentioned and is involved is as guilty as hell.
There's no smoke without fire.
Right. So there is a lady now, according to, I believe there was reports. This is from Black British Culture and Being Black is Lit. That's the name of the accounts on Instagram. It was reported that the Queen lent the then Prince Andrew 7 million so he could pay off his accuser Virginia Giuffre and stop her taking him to court. It's been said that he was Queen Elizabeth's favorite son. Yeah. So
funny that.
You could imagine that conversation when he went and asked her for the 7 million. Oh, Andrew, I can't believe you got caught. And the reason I say this is because there is a lady, she is her account on Instagram, or the account that posted this is called Hard Being Manny. Obviously, it's like all one word. Now, there is a lady, her name's Jeanette Archer, and I'm going to let you have a listen to what she had to say. hold on, let me just.
Might have been longer, it might have been. This is the truth about our royal family, who so many of you admire. Today you're going to know who they really are, and more to the point, you're going to know what they really are. And you're going to know what goes on behind those walls. I was 3 years old when I was brought here, and I was being brought here till about 8 or 9. And that's as good as my memories serve. It might have been longer, it might have been sooner than that, but that is my memories to date. My name is Jeanette Archer. I am a survivor of satanic ritual abuse. I am also a survivor of our royal family. Today, I have chosen to return to Windsor Castle to tell the world the truth about what really goes on inside those walls. Thank you, guys. Today, I want to tell the world about what these people really are, especially her that wears the crown.
Scum! Satanic scum!
As a child, the police would come to my home and collect me. And they would bring me here. Uniformed police in their police cars would collect me and bring me here. The police who swear an oath to serve and protect the public, they would deliver me to the evil that is behind these gates. What I am sure of, though, is those waiting for me to be delivered, for us to arrive, groups of children. They wouldn't have known that actually it was the police that would always rape us first.
You know it!
Did someone just go, ah?
They thought behind those walls that the police were delivering pure children that hadn't been tampered with. I was beaten and raped multiple times before I even was put in the car to be brought here.
From 3.
So here I am, stood here for the first time as an adult survivor and ready to tell the world the truth about Windsor Castle. Ready to tell the world the truth about the evil atrocities that are inflicted on children at the hands of our royal family. My time spent here took me to the depths of depravity, a hell on earth that only a survivor of satanic ritual abuse can ever understand.
And so that's her testimony, and
Yeah.
she does have an account. If I'm going to find it, and then I will list it in the description. And so you see, for me, it started with Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip, probably before that. But him doing what he's doing is all part of what they do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And so that's why I don't hold out much hope that anything's going to come of it, with him being prosecuted for his crimes.
Yeah.
There's other things that I found, and it was because Andrew claimed that he had no connection to Epstein at all.
Yeah.
But then there's this picture has surfaced. The account is on TikTok. I believe it's Ruse, Rous, and there is a picture here with Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and Harvey Weinstein. They were invited to, is it Beatrice's?
Yeah, Princess Beatrice.
Her 18th birthday party. Yeah. So for me, I believe everything that everybody is saying, and so much more is coming out more and more. And even with Madeleine McCann, the little girl that went missing from the hotel room when her parents were having a meal nearby, information has come out recently that when somebody claimed they saw a little girl who they thought was Madeleine with this woman, and the description of the woman that was given, when you compare it now, it looks like Ghislaine.
Am I bugging, or I swear
Maxwell.
there was a picture?
There is a picture of the description of the woman, and when put next to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it looks like her,
Mm.
and she's also been mentioned
I actually saw
in
a
the
video.
Epstein files.
I actually saw a video where there's this woman that is uncannily looks like her, and somebody said her name, and she turned her head, and this is when she's supposed to be locked up.
Yeah.
And the woman turned her head, and then she's like, "Oh no, no!" And like,
Yes.
it was so like she looked uncannily more like her than the person they're putting the
And
picture of
straight
saying
away,
it's her.
what do they say? AI.
Yeah.
But that woman looked more like her than the woman that in the prison.
Yeah, with the glasses and the big ass nose.
And you can blatantly see it's a wig.
It's like
do you know what I mean? Like... And the man that she was with, apparently, it was supposed to be Jeffrey Epstein's lawyer. And when you compare the pictures, they do resemble. You know what I'm saying? And so once again, this is the whole reason for AI. See if you see things. But the thing about it is, the reason why I believe that these people are still alive and living their life is because as much as people think that it's Epstein and her that was running the whole thing, no, they're just a small part of it. People need to understand this is a global thing. This is not just
because you think what people can take kids from different countries and the leaders of them countries don't know nothing about it,
right?
You know what I mean? I feel like these country leaders have always worked in fucking weird ways anyways, but you're telling me they trade all of these goods, they have all of these like undercover things going on, and you're telling me they're going to draw the line at sending children overboard, like abroad and stuff like that to go because let's be real here, like obviously between like going in first world countries and second and third, like when you look at like places like the United Kingdom and America and all of them, like there's a lot of them that you could tell the power they hold over other countries as well, where it's like you do hear of what's the word, like it's not American or English children as much you hear of as well. Like, obviously there's a lot of them that speak out like now that they're grown, but it's also a lot of children from third world countries that they're taking to, who it's kind of like, no one will bat an eye sort of thing.
Exactly. So this takes me to when the Queen and Prince Philip, this was apparently in 1964, they decided to pay a visit to the land's first generational youthful inhabitants. And basically, they took 10 children on a picnic. And when they came back from the picnic, they came back without the children.
Yeah.
And they were never questioned about it. And the children were never seen.
Is this one's from
again.
Hades?
That's right. Yeah. So these people, because it's the powers that be, right, that run the whole thing, because it's the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, they all control everything. And I know there's other bloodlines, but I don't know all of their names. I'm just
let's be real, a lot of them are also a lot undercover about it. Like,
right, but they are the ones that are running everything. They have been taking children and doing what they're doing to them, and yes, eating them. Okay, now people don't want to believe all this shit, but it's true. It is true.
They're gonna do all of that. Why are they gonna draw the line at cannibalism?
I wouldn't mind, but I have been speaking on these things for a long time.
Yes.
And people would look at me and be like, oh my goodness, she's a conspiracy theorist. I call myself a conspiracy realist, and is it even a conspiracy when it's been proven that it's true?
But this is the thing, and it just like, if it's not eye-opening to people and doesn't make people want to just look into things more, because it's not just this year things have came about, it was just last year. For a good while now, a lot more people are becoming woke, so to speak, on all of these things. Like when people started to discover about the pizza parties and all the furniture that was being sold that just so happened to have names of children that had gone missing. You know what I mean? This is dating back from then. People are starting to realize now, and I just feel like it's been happening for long enough. And in a world where, for years now, especially royal families have been okay having child marriages with adults, whether it be an adult groom to a child bride or vice versa. If they're not opposed to something like that, and that is something that's known within history happens, why are people so oblivious to the fact that they're going to also be doing stuff with children behind the scenes?
Exactly.
Like it makes no sense to me. And I think as well, one thing that will never make sense to me either is why people worship people like the royal family or listen to people like Donald Trump, because the royal family, first of all, I beg someone please tell me one thing that any of them are actually done. that has benefited the country.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? They haven't done anything. Nobody worked for their position there. Nobody studied or did anything to kind of reach this position. It was given to them based on lineage that is inbred anyways.
Mm.
And people worship them for what? For what? But like, I just don't understand it.
So this gentleman, I always seem to find the best things like early hours of the rising, because you know I'm up early anyway, and I always seem to come across these things when I do. But this is it just says he's a sheik. It doesn't say, you know, his actual name, but the account that it's on is it's on Instagram, and it's Joanna Maste. JONNAMASTE. So this is what this man has to say. And after this, I think we'll leave it here for this week. But let's see what he has to say.
They're everywhere. They're the deans at your colleges, the owners of every corporation. They're in everything. The people who distribute your food, they're all on that guy's list. They were sending him pieces of the Kaaba. We said, these are not Muslims. The custodian of anything, the custodian of Jahannam. These people doing these types of wickedness, and they want to tell you who's bad. First, stop eating people, tormenting people, fix yourself. And then Ramadan comes, these files come out. And all they're showing, no, look, don't be heedless. What that one-eyed is broadcasting to you from people who eat people, telling you who's bad. Excuse me, they're doing what the heavens has asked of them. They pray, they fast, they give food to others and abstain for the sake of their Creator. Stop believing what that one-eyed box tells you. Wake up. The owner of that box has been eating people, enjoying the eating. All the characters in all of your movies have been eating people. They're putting out now which of these actors took enjoyment in eating people, sending emails that is a full cannibal. We are not eating food in Ramadan. And these people, because they're not human, they have given themselves to what you don't understand. They're called the marada, the evil jinn, ifrit. Every type of wickedness, that's their food. They want to eat people. They want to torment people. They want to take every type of low vibration and evilness and wickedness. And heavenly people, godly people, thrive on a higher vibration. Who are the people?
And there we have it. And I couldn't agree with him more.
Mm-hmm.
So, as I said, on that note, we will leave it here for this week. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you so much as always. And I am sending an abundance of love and light. And it's goodbye from me, Michelle, and goodbye from Skylar.
Bye.
Bye.